Rob and Slim Show.
Hello, hello.
John J. Galbo from Swimcast.
Yes, sir. What's up?
What's up?
Just chilling, just chilling. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing good tonight.
Good. That's good. What? You are the longest running Adult Swim podcast, correct?
That is accurate, sir. Probably not. We don't crank them out as much as we used to, but it is the longest running show.
12 years.
Wow.
We're starting our sixth, and I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted, my friend.
You doubled us.
How have you kept going so long?
Booze.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
like
fun.
Yeah.
And when we take breaks, we take like summer breaks, so like that recharges the batteries.
Oh. See, the thing is, when we first started, we did it for fun, and as we started going, it got a little bit of. Can I curse on this?
Yes.
It got a bit of a clusterfuck for a while, where we didn't talk about Adult Swim a whole lot, but we ran like a 3 to 4 hour show.
That's really
and that
cool.
eventually spawned my second show, and, that begat another show. That begat another, now we have a whole network of shows.
Oh.
But little by little, my focus was not as attentive to Swimcast. So we do them sparingly now.
Okay.
But it's still like, well, we have plenty of content, and we can really talk about anything in the realm of animated comedy. We branched out a little bit more. Like, we'll talk about Archer sometimes. We'll talk about live action comedy on different networks. So, and the thing that I find hysterical is it's a show that's geared toward, well, the network Adult Swim is geared towards like 18 to 32 year olds, and really a lot of it is more the 18 crowd, and it's like we could say anything on the show as long as it's batshit insane.
Yes.
It's going to hold the attention.
That's our
show.
I do my show. Yes, we're kindred spirits in that. I love that. Who are your co-hosts, John?
It's a rotating group, but generally my co-host is a young lady by the name of Trish. She lives out in the Southern California region. Oh, no, I'm sorry, the Northern California region. I don't know California.
I don't either.
And she's usually my rock on the show because she'll say even more batshit insane stuff than I have.
That's good. That's what you need. Yeah, you need somebody crazier than you.
Yeah.
Are you affiliated with William Street? Or adults.
Oh,
adults
God, I wish. I've been towing that line for decades, where people come up to me, it's like, "Oh, you work for Adult Swim?" I'm like, even like New York Comic Con, which I was just telling a friend of mine, I'm not going this year, but I've been going consecutively as press, and I think the reason being is I put in Adult Swim Central. They bypassed the Central part because that used to be the website. And they're like, "Okay, you're Adult Swim, you're press."
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, I don't even care anymore, because it's not my fault. You're going to, the extreme of, okay, Adult Swim, Central. Okay, I don't know what Central is, but you're in.
But you're there. You're there. You're good. You're good.
I shouldn't say never. I did once. Fake being from Adult Swim, and it was that they actually just had it this past weekend. It's Atlanta's Dragon Con. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it.
No. Dragon Con?
Yeah, it's like
Dragons
New York Comic Con, like dialed up to 11. Like they go
Wow.
like, the entire Labor Day weekend. It's held in like 6 hotels, and it's like nonstop like debauchery and drinking.
That sounds
People in cosplay.
funner. That sounds funner than
Yeah,
Comic-Con.
that does
That's
sound a little
funner
better.
than any convention I've been to.
It really is. They let me host some panels down there for a while, but I stopped going because I got to be an adult.
Oh man, that's adulting. That is adulting.
But oh shit, I forgot where I was going with those. Oh no, I was press one year, and they had like the "Your Pretty Face is Going to Hell" Squidbillies panel.
Oh.
And I was there late because I had some conflict. And the guy at the door was like, "Wait, you can't get in. I'm like, I'm pressed. I'm with Adult Swim. He's like, oh, okay.
Have you ever had Adult Swim come at you? Like, you got to step down, John. You're not.
No, they love me. I mean, I've never met Lazo, and there's like a couple other people that I haven't met, but I've met like most of the creators and the talent, and they love it.
That is
I mean,
super cool.
I wish I had kept like a full blown website, because eventually we dumbed it down and moved it to another website.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone even writes anymore. I don't have the drive to writing anymore. I do mostly the podcast stuff.
That's what I was going to ask too, John. Being involved and being such a fan and involved in all that stuff, have you ever wanted to create a show, an animated show, or anything like that?
I would love to, but I mean, I think I need more of a push, or like some like more creative type partner to go, okay, I got the connections, you got the brains, you know, let's go with this.
Yeah. It's hard to grind. I do a little skit called Too Many Rapes, and it's a dark humor, sci-fi, action, adventure, time travel. It's got it all. But like, I pitched it to an animation company, and they were super responsive when I was asking them questions about how to pitch it. And then when I pitched it, I never heard back, dude.
You know what it is too? They get so many submissions that are like either really good or really horrible.
Whoa.
And the thing that really bugs me is the fact that they'll take they'll like greenlight a pilot, like it was called Uber Mansion originally, the one that eventually became Super Mansion for Crackle.
Okay, I do know that.
And
yes,
they had the original pilot on their network, and they had the whole contest. Oh, vote for your favorite pilot, and Uber Mansion won. And then they went, yeah, we're passing on this. We're gonna let it go.
Yeah.
And then Sony picks it up, and it wins Emmys.
Wow.
I guess it's kind of it's their judgment call. Like they can't tell if the show's going to be a hit or miss.
Yeah.
But it's like it's just, I don't know. This is why I'm a lowly office drone by day and not in cartoon.
Yeah, I'm a retail slave. That's the same.
Me too. But so here's I gotta add something here with Rob pitching his too many rapes to this animation company, and with you saying that, like, hey, they got a lot to choose from. Some are good, some are great. Like,
I think
the
Too
one
Many Rapes
that
will catch
has
you.
the one that has the word rape in it, it's probably easy to be like, we're not gonna do that. But you should. But I think I think Rob should rename it to Too Many Rakes.
Rakes?
Yeah, it
or
should be
mops. Or too many mops. Or too many ropes. But it's still deal with rape. You just gotta change the title.
That's Too Many Ropes.
Too many brokes.
Too many blokes. It could be British.
Or even that's too many non-concessional sex.
Ooh, that's... It's a prison. It started in prison. That's where it started, John. Don't think I'm that creepy. Please.
Okay.
What
That makes sense.
I want to ask John, if you can, do you have a list of like your top 5 favorite Adult Swim shows?
Oh, Jesus. Well, number 1 is Space Ghost. I always say Space Ghost over Aqua Team because it's a granddaddy.
Yes.
So Space Ghost, Aqua Teen. Shit.
Rick
There
and
are
Morty.
Way too many.
Yeah, that's it. There's so much.
I don't know
time.
if Rick and Morty would. Maybe it would be 6.
Wow.
Venture, obviously.
Venture. Yes, that was one of mine.
12-ounce mouth. I know a lot of people. Unpopular opinion to most, but it's a fan favorite.
Wow. Yeah.
Sheesh. Metalocalypse.
Yes.
Super Jail. I think I might have gone over 5.
That was another one. I was like not totally on board for.
Which one? Super Jail?
Yeah, I just. Ooh, that one never caught me.
The thing with that one, I love Christy Caracas' animation, and he just keeps getting better and better.
Okay.
He just did the Ball Masters 9009 series.
Yeah, I can see, like, I do like the animation. I just the show just didn't ever grab me. And one that I wanted to hate, like, I think I turned it on to hate, but loved it, was Your Pretty Face. Like, I was like, what is this garbage? And I turned it on, and I was like, oh my god, I can't get enough of this show.
Home movies?
I loved home movies.
I loved home movies.
But that was Comedy Central.
That wasn't on Adult Swim? It was on
It was.
Adult Swim. It was.
Originally, it was on UPN when that existed, and they canceled it.
Okay.
I think after the first few episodes of the first season, and then Swim picked it up and they ordered new episodes.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I love to Swim for reigniting Family Guy.
And then I think they took, like, that and then went into, like, Metalocalypse, because that was both, like, Brendan Small, so they were like, we want you to do, like, a show for us.
That was great, but I also, that didn't finish, right? Metalocalypse never completely ended, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I know there's petitions to get it like a final season or something going, and Swim for whatever reason, I think because the rumor I heard was he blew all the money. Like, they gave him enough money to make one final season, and he blew it all on that rock opera special.
Okay. Good for him.
Yeah.
Go, Brendan.
Like, it's a rumor. It's a rumor.
Yeah.
Dirty rumor.
So I'm curious about this. So Adult Swim had, if I remember correctly, it started out with just like that stuff, like Space Ghost, Coast to Coast, like these Adult Swim originals, and then eventually they started adding anime to it. How do you feel about that?
I have a love-hate relationship with anime just because every time I get into one, like, it either gets canceled or it ends abruptly.
Yep.
Case in point, I love Cowboy Bebop. I wish they would make more. I understand they don't want to make more.
Yeah.
And I think as I get older, I feel like the short-form stuff is kind of better. Like, I've been watching The Good Place on TV. I know it's non sequitur or whatever you want to call it.
Live action film series.
Live action comedy. And it's like, oh, Good Place is going to end after this season. I'm like, you know what? I'm kind of okay with that. It was funny for 4 seasons, and now it's done.
That's how I felt about Inuyasha. Like, I loved it. I don't know how many seasons, but the last, I don't know if it was 3 or 4, I was like, I'm done. I'm done with this garbage.
That show used to bug me because 5 a.m., you know, going to bed at 5 a.m. when you're in college and hearing, Kagome!
Kagome!
So I loved the original. Rob has watched all the other ones, but my, like, biggest, like, Adult Swim memory as far as anime goes was, like, Fully Cooley, and that just fucking short, sweet, 6 episodes.
So good.
Amazing.
So great. So great.
Are you just lost? You've never seen Fully Cooley?
He's judging us so hard right now.
Oh, yeah. I think my anime, like, when they started, when they had Dragon Ball Z on still, that was a cool one.
Yeah, that was cool.
Kenshi Muyo was probably one of my favorites.
Nice.
That was a fantastic one. I wish when they had transferred it over to Swim that they had unedited it.
Yeah, true. Well, I wanted to ask you too, John. What is your least favorite Swim show ever? Like, mine has to be Xavier, whatever the hell that was. Xavier. Oh, that was garbage.
Xavier. No one wants to like that show. This may be an unpopular opinion because I know it's popular with the kids these days, but Mr. Pickles.
I can't stand it. I
don't even know what that is. I never heard of Mr.
It's
Pickles.
It's a demonic dog, I want to say.
Oh,
like,
yuck.
I've tried a few.
I think I've told the story on the show or maybe elsewhere, but when they have their lineup, like every April they go to New York and they try and sell these shows to advertisers, and we would report the list of shows like, oh, Venture Brothers is coming back, Aqua Team's coming back, and here are the new shows, and blah blah blah, and I went through them and like dissected them one by one, and I was like, I don't know enough about Mr. Pickles to make an assessment on it, but it's supposedly about a family and a dog and this and that. And I guess the guys who produce it had their own PR firm at the time. I don't know if they still do. So they reach out to me and they go, "Oh, hey, we have the pilot. We'd like you to watch it and give us your thoughts."
Wow.
It was the first episode. I think it was twice as long because they film or animate like 30 minutes rather than the typical 11.
Okay.
And I just got a whole like it felt like it was trying way too hard to be the new Metalocalypse or Super Jail, like uber violence, crudeness. Like there wasn't anything like hysterical about it. I told them that straight out, and they're like, "Huh, okay, thanks."
Wow.
I tried watching a few other episodes, and there were a few like spots that made me chuckle, but I still don't get the show.
That's how I felt. I felt the same about China, Illinois. That one I tried to get into, and I couldn't. There was a few parts that made me laugh, but I just couldn't. Just could not.
My favorite was the part where they accidentally left in the F-bombs.
What was the one with the family that lived next to like a nuclear plant or something?
Oh, the Oblongs. That was one that ended too soon, I felt.
Yeah, and even the creators, like, you know, I met him once at a con in LA, I think it's LA Comic Con now. It used to be called something else. And he hands me this postcard. He's like, "Here, send this to Adult Swim." Like, I guess he's hoping like enough people would send in postcards, but it's like, I feel like it's too little too late, because like most of those people that were on the show, like Will Ferrell, he won't come back.
No, he went on to way better things. Yeah, that's what it was. It had Will Ferrell. It was just a great show. Yeah, but yeah, like it never went after I think it was like one season.
Yeah. It's a good show, though.
Yeah, it was. John, I want to ask you, too, how did you connect with George Lowe, a.k.a. Space Ghost, that did your intro?
Wow.
That did your intro, because it's amazing.
Okay. Back in the, I should preface this by saying the whole Swimcast Adult Swim Central thing started with Aqua Team Central was a website. And the guy who built it, props to Jeff, he was a big Space Ghost fan. He ended up creating a website called the Dad Shrine, which was basically like Brack's show Central.
Oh, cool.
And some way, somehow, he got a hold of George Lowe. I think he was, you know, he had like a phone number or email or something, and became fairly friendly with George Lowe. And I forget how we got on the subject. I think we were going to do a retrospective on Space Coast, and he ended up reaching out to George and was like, "Can you do like a bunch of bits and stuff?" And there is an episode. It's archived now, so it's Patreon only. We actually go through like all the sound bites that he had, because it wasn't just like that intro. And one of the other guys who used to produce the show with me, he ended up like, because he says at the beginning, "Welcome to this podcast," and he just put in "Welcome to this Swimcast."
Wow. That's
so
good.
I see George. I used to see George at that Dragon Con I mentioned earlier, and he never remembered me. I just have to be like, "Oh, hey, I'm Jeff Albeck's friend." "Oh, yeah, Jeff."
Oh. One of my favorite things he did was on the Aqua Team, where they were doing like, I have the clip somewhere. It's like a public service announcement, how to not offend people. It was just like this thing, and I think somebody shot a nun's head off, and like a rainbow came out, and he was like, "That's acceptable."
The Aqua Teen episode. That was the Ted Nugent one.
Yes. The Jesus. It was like Jesus in a billboard or something like that. Yes. Gee whiz. Oh, what do you think? Too, John. I know it wasn't brought up yet, but what do you think about the Eric Andre show? Because I love that one too.
I love that show. I am just so backlogged on it.
Okay.
He is balls out insane.
Yes, he's next level.
I love in the first season when he goes to Mensa in the suit of armor.
Oh my God, everything he does, like, it's just It's always different. It's always amazing. I just he tickles my soul. And what was I gonna say? Oh my god.
What was that other one you were really into? With the werewolf.
Oh, Joe, Neon Joe.
Neon Joe.
Neon Joe was that?
Werewolf Hunter.
I haven't watched enough of that. I actually caught an episode the other night on the Swim stream. They have the app where like they go through different, like, they call them marathons, but they're like little, like, you can click on each one of them. It's like Venture Brothers, Rick and Morty, Black Jesus, Stream Corp, and then they have a Williams Street one, and you click on that and it's like random nonsense from like all different eras, and they had Neon Joe on, and I'm like, oh my god, this is nuts.
It was good. I really got into that one.
Love the hell out of John Glazer though. He is a stand-up gentleman.
Yeah, I've seen a couple interviews. We've played clips of him. He's amazing. He's really cool. Really cool. I'm pissed though myself though, John. I don't know about you, but I think it was about a year ago. Xfinity up here made made Cartoon Network a premium channel, so I haven't had it. Right? That's what I'm saying. Like, how the hell do you make that a premium channel? But up here,
I guess NBC Universal doesn't like children.
Right. I'm gonna
boycott.
I'm gonna make that statement.
We're a big conglomerate. Fuck kids.
Fuck kids. They shouldn't even be here.
We're gonna make you pay extra for your Cartoon Network. You can stay with Nickelodeon.
That's what I'm stuck with. I'm stuck with Nick and PBS. It sucks. John,
well, I want to ask John one
yes.
question. So animated
one question
only animated cartoons on Adult Swim you love. Any other networks that do animated cartoons that you appreciate?
Oof. Animated comedy on Adult Swim?
Well, so you have so clearly you love animated comedy on Adult Swim. Are there any other networks? Are there any other networks such as Nickelodeon, Fox, or any of those that you like the comedy that they've done? Animated.
Yes. Fox, I love Bob's Burgers. We binged it. I got my wife to watch it.
Cool.
We love it. She's convinced our firstborn is going to end up as Louise. Archer, I'm backlogged. I'm like only 4 seasons in on Archer, but I need to catch up on that.
That's one I gotta get into.
Love that show. Other animated comedies. I mean,
like even if you look at like Nickelodeon, like they're not adult comedies, but like the early 90s were very adult themed.
Right. Well, I was gonna say the new DuckTales is hysterical.
Is it really? I have not touched on it.
The new DuckTales throws so much fan service and so much humor at adults. It's unbelievable.
I gotta check it out then.
Yeah, you really do, and such a stellar cast. I mean, I know. On the flip side, the complaint is, well, you're getting a lot of these celebrities to do it, not a lot of work for like actual voice actors and actresses, but it works. It works.
Yeah, I'd rather have that too. Fuck the little guy. I want the big guy, right in my face.
Well, on the flip side is there's so many characters they keep adding, and they keep drawing from the whole Disney afternoon. I mean, they're gonna have this past season they had Darkwing Duck show up.
Love Darkwing.
Then they're gonna have like the characters from Tailspin show up soon.
Cool.
I forget who else. Like there was a poster that came out for San Diego Comic-Con that like has like 10 different characters from like Disney Afternoon, and you're like, whoa.
Wow, that's awesome. John, we have to wrap this up, dude, but it has been a blast talking to you, dude.
Oh, the pleasure is all mine, gentlemen. You know, it was fantastic, having me on.
Always.
What was I going to say? I blanked out there. I'm having a blackout and I haven't drunk.
Oh, you got a drunk. Where can everybody find you?
I drunk a lot.
I mean, generally these days, like I alluded to at the start of this, I run a podcast network now. It's called ACPN, the Arts, Comedy, and Pop Culture Network of Podcasts. You could find us at acpnet.net. Okay. We're also on the Twitter machine. You could find me on the Twitter machine at John J. Galbo, and Facebook. What else do kids use these days? Twitch. I've been trying to do Twitch streams of like random content to see if they'll kick me off.
Hold on, I want to skip a little bit here. Can we be on your podcast network?
Ooh, look at that
greedy.
There is an application form on there, and I have to go through it. But I did see a name of a show on there that may or may not be yours. So I will. Our crack team of monkeys will evaluate that and see if it's a good fit.
Fuck yeah! Thank you, John. Thank you. Don't hold anything against Slim. He doesn't. He's drunk.
There is nothing wrong with being drunk. It's when you get blacked out.
I'm not drunk enough.
That'll be later.
That's probably another story for another day for some other show.
Very true.
Awesome, John. You rock, dude. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, guys. Have a good night.
You too, my friend.
All right. Later.
Later.